Greetings, transporters. It's Dr. Kelsey Ralph again, and today we're going to talk about connections and complexity in transit service. So, to begin, every transit agency has a service allocation policy. They're basically answering three questions. Where should we provide service? How frequently should we offer service? And when should we offer service? There are several questions that transit agencies can use to guide their service allocation policy. Today, we're going to focus on one of them. I want you to imagine a simple city with 3 residential areas and 3 employment centers. We have 2 options for providing service in our city. The direct service option is the simplest. We start by offering transit service from our neighborhood to each of the job centers. We have to do that for each of the neighborhoods. Suddenly, there's a lot of transit lines. This configuration requires 9 separate lines. Let's just assume that we can afford to run each line every 30 minutes in our city. Next, let's look at the connective option. Rather than offer a route from every single neighborhood to every single job center, we combine forces. The routes meet in the middle at a transfer point. Residents can still get from each neighborhood to each job center. They just might have to transfer in the middle. Notice that this option only requires 3 lines. If we assume we have the same budget, we can now afford to run a bus every 10 minutes for the same cost. Why does that matter? Well, it really dramatically affects how long it takes to get from point A to point B. Let's just assume that to get from one neighborhood to one job center, it takes 20 minutes from the bus to drive from end to end. So if we know it takes 20 minutes to get from the neighborhood to a job center, how long will the trip take on average? We know that the bus only comes every 30 minutes in the direct service option. So on average, we'll have to wait 15 minutes to get a bus. In total, our travel time will take 35 minutes on average. Let's compare that to the connective option. Now, a bus comes every 10 minutes, so we only wait 5 minutes on average. Then, we travel for 10 minutes to the transfer point. True, we have to wait again, but still just 5 minutes because a bus is coming every 10 minutes. Then, we ride for 10 more minutes to get to our destination. In total, our trip should take just 30 minutes. That's 5 minutes less than the direct service option, even when we had a transfer. If we pick a new destination, the benefits are even clearer. In both cases, there's direct service from our neighborhood to our job center. In the connective option, we'll wait for just 5 minutes and ride for 20 minutes for a total time of 25 minutes on average, saving us 10 minutes on every single trip. Plus, we know that waiting for the bus feels twice as onerous as actually being on the bus. So in reality, travel times actually look more like this. The connective option feels even better if we consider how it feels to wait for the bus. Now, we've had a simple example with a model city, and obviously transit service doesn't look like that. I am not advocating for a single transfer point in the center of a city. But we can imagine how this same idea applies to a city just like yours. Imagine we want to get from the dot in the lower left to the top right. We could offer a direct service option between them, and that's what many cities do. But because we have a lot of destinations to connect, we end up with a spaghetti bowl of transit service, with lines overlapping each other all over the city. Instead, in a connective option, we can combine forces, offer service more frequently. Whereas a bus might come just once an hour in the direct service option, for exactly the same price, we can offer service much more frequently with a connective option. The connective option offers 3 key benefits. First, total trip time is likely faster, even with a connection. Second, there's a psychological shift once we have high-frequency schedules. We no longer need to check the schedule or the website to make sure a bus is coming. We know when it's coming every couple of minutes. This dramatically increases ridership. Finally, connective options increase the reliability of the system. We're less dependent on any single bus because another one is coming just a few minutes later. We should note, before we go, that people hate to transfer. That's why we sometimes refer to it as a transfer penalty. The good news is that transfers in the connective system are less painful than in a direct service system. In a connective system, the bus comes more often. Frequencies are higher, so wait times are lower. Agencies can further reduce the pain of transferring by making connections free. Finally, smartphones and real-time bus information make connections less painful than they were just a few years ago. And if transfers aren't so onerous, the connective option is an even greater opportunity. So to recap, transit can either provide direct service or connected service. Connections enable higher frequency service at the same cost. Connected service lowers wait times and gets people to their destinations faster. That's it for today. Until next time, safe travels.